Right. So the good evening to all of you. Today, our panel discussion topic is employee engagement strategies during this COVID-19 era. So we are having eminent HR professionals with us. So who will be discussing the employee engagement strategies which can be taken or which are being taken by different industries, because we are having representation from different industries today. So our first speaker, I would like to welcome Mr. Uddolok Banerjee. So Mr. Banerjee is basically a BTech graduate from NIT Rajpur, and he is a postgraduate in human resource management from XLRI Jamshedpur, and he is presently pursuing CIPD UK in advanced HRM. He is having more than 7 years of experience in different manufacturing sectors like Kimberly Clark, Builder Tire, Trident Group, and presently he is with Pidilite Industries as a regional HR manager. And apart from that, he is having a lot of other credentials. He's a really very good scholar in different areas. So I was just going through his profile. So if I start telling everything, it takes a lot of time. So we are very much proud that Mr. Uddolok is with us today. So so definitely we'd like to start the discussion with you, Mr. Banerjee. That as our today's topic is this employee engagement. So as we know that the employee engagement is basically a wonderful tool to motivate the employees, because we know the engaged employees are motivated employees, and the motivated employees are productive employees. But definitely this COVID-19 probably posing a lot of challenges how to engage the employees, specifically those who are working from home, or different industries may be having different kind of challenges while engaging this particular the employees actually. So it will be great if you can share your point of view on that, sir.
So, am I audible first?
Yes, you're audible.
So, actually, engagement.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. So, engagement as a process, actually, whichever happens in the industry, is actually aimed at some purpose. The purpose exactly is that the person or say group of employees, whoever are there working within the setup of an organization, should work in such a manner that there is limited conflict and towards the organizational vision, and everyone works together so that they can achieve the common goal. Now, why I would like to first just give a few sentences on why engagement is required. Then we'll go towards the COVID-19 context.
Right.
So, engagement at this point in time, you must say that why engagement is required. Now, engagement first is required because, see, what happens practically. Now, all of us who opt for an organization are not necessarily driven by the objectives of that organization. Okay, we all want employment, we want a good life for ourselves. We are looking at the CTC which they have been providing us, and then we accordingly modify our answers accordingly and give the interview and get through, and then we get into the organization. Now, while the organization is selecting the individual, they are always looking at that particular individual as a say asset which they will require to gain their own objective, which is obviously to make profit or to get particular activities done and like that. So from that perspective, so now what happens is that everybody is now there within that particular organization, and now they are all working. Now the alignment between the organizational vision as well as that level of that individual is sometimes lacks. So everybody wants to work in a more empowered climate. Everybody wants to make decisions. Everybody wants to work in his own way. If somebody's boss tells to that particular individual, no, you work in this particular manner only, and sometimes he doesn't explain why he requires to do that in that particular way, then what happens is it leads to friction. So that's why engagement as an exercise is propounded. Now, if you look at the best of best engagement studies, whichever is the best, like say Gallup, you can see, and then larger number of Mercer also has done a lot of engagement related studies also. So all of these engagement studies give one particular output. The output is that whatever these employees do on a day-to-day basis, this should be made more easier. They should be given right tools, right training, so that they can achieve their objectives. So that the psychological gap between an employee's aspiration and the employer's aspiration becomes as close as possible. So what that gap is? Now, gap is that the employee expects that he would be promoted. he would be getting a more better career in the future. He would get all the trainings for the right skills and everything. But the employer only expects that the person should come on board and start performing and give him profits.
Right.
That's the difference. So to get all these things, how that employee can be engaged, if you have to meet his expectations. So for that you need right tools, right guidance, right things, these things. So these all things are required. Apart from this, all what we do as a short-term measure, we always do some cricket matches, some football matches, some team bonding exercises. So they do multiple purposes. It solves actually one to suppose somebody has a friction within the team, they will come as a team, they will play as a team, and then accordingly that vibe will pass over into the mass employees. So that is the basic objective. How in general employee engagement activities are constructed. Now coming to the COVID-19 context, so obviously these all activities at this point in time you cannot do. You can't have an aggregation of people in one particular place to do some sort of team bonding exercise or something of that kind. So what you do now, what we do is I will tell you that. So what we currently do here is that we at this point in time we are more focused in having say a lot of unmeetings. Unmeetings are what? Not meetings especially, but it's like say one day in a month when all the team comes together on our internal portals. So like say there is some technologies are there, MS Teams is there, some Zoom meetings are there. Teams is what we subscribe to, so you use that as a technology, and then we have these meetings together. So in these meetings, if we discuss everything except work. Like what we do, like we discuss, we have a methodology. The bosses of particular teams, they have made a particular sequence of activities, like say somebody sing, somebody will recite poetry, whichever of their own habits and all that, and then accordingly they will meet that. So that is one initiative that we have started. That's in short, if time has permitted.
Right. So that means one of the methodologies that you are giving the terminology as unmeeting.
Yes.
Okay. So where you will be discussing everything other than the work, that is their personal life or some cultural program like that actually. Yes. So I have heard that the several companies are also involving into, like say for example, they are missing the office parties. So that's why they are organizing a Zoom party kind of thing. Right. Maybe conducting some selfie contest.
Yes.
Right. So definitely the IT companies probably are doing these things, but other than this unmeeting, any other special initiative you are taking?
So yes, other than that, what we have already started constructively doing is that what we have identified that in this current situation, due to this COVID-19, there is a lot of mental issues and other such issues also happening. So for the mental well-being also, we have started there are certain exercises. Some Zoom, there is a trainer which we have fixed for the corporate. So he comes out and goes live to the entire Pidilite family, does all the exercises and etc. and shows the. So we do it for a particular period in time, say 30 minutes of the day on a regular sequence, so that these employees go in there. So we have initiated challenges also. So all the employees, they have to, particularly if they visit all these things and then upload their own videos doing that for a specific order, then they get some points, then the team points are there, then overall the organization, that competition kind of an atmosphere is also created of doing all these activities also. So that way there is always a good, healthy this thing.
Okay. So are you holding any kind of rewards and recognition ceremony also online to engage the employees or motivate the employees?
Yes, actually what we do is that also a part of the unmeeting exercise towards the very end, we actually do the reward and recognition of some employees who have gone out of their way in helping our distributors or customers in some particular way. So for them, so some unmeeting, like it's like what we do is in unmeetings there we customize the backgrounds in such a manner that everyone. And in that climate, the bosses usually give the award to that particular person who has done that exceptional work to motivate him that, okay, in this time also he has done this all many activities which has helped the organization build its brand.
Okay, great. So, in the non-COVID era, I mean, when this pandemic is not there or will not be there, kind of situation. So you are talking about different kind of sporting event you are conducting, like the football matches or the cricket.
Yes.
Right. So what do you think? I mean, is it, like say for example, in our industry, especially me, I am finding it little bit more easier to conduct this industry interactive session during this COVID-19 era, because I am getting all the HR people together online. Now, probably it is very difficult to gather them together in a offline, in a classroom scenario. So I am finding it little bit, good thing, this COVID-19 period area for specifically for these activities. So what do you think? Those football matches or the cricket matches are good, or these online unmeetings are good? What your point of view is?
See, this actually, whether good or not will depend on what the objective is and whether that objective can be met by this or not.
Right.
So, see, actually, see, engagement activities, if you look at the umbrella, there are by parts into it. Okay, so one part is definitely not just organizing cricket, football matches, because that goes in just event management. But there is also another part. The other part is about, say, one-to-one interactions, thus understanding his own problems, then noting them down, and also giving him an informal climate, understanding his opinions and etc. Meeting large mass of people one by one, and then noting it down, and then coming back and reforming the policy, giving him the tools, getting into a discussion with the head office to get that enablement to that particular employee. So that is a more long-lasting one, which actually goes into the has been enabled by this. So one-to-one you can on online basis. Okay, but this other aspect, what this part does in general is that they give a live climate, give live dynamic challenges which everybody directly reconnects with. So when you are pitting one team with another team in a live scenario of, say, cricket match or a football match, the bonding suddenly becomes lot stronger, because the situation and the reactions has to happen in a very, very fast manner. In an online situation, you cannot create that impact in that specific way. Otherwise, everybody will play book cricket or that kind of a cricket. But that does not actually happen. So because that emotional coordination with that particular changing environment usually happens in a live scenario in a match situation.
Right.
So it's more stronger bonding. So that I would say that is still missing.
Right. So according to you, in those kind of offline interactions, like especially in those sporting events, probably the team bonding would be much stronger than the online events, because their emotional attachment would be much stronger actually.
Yes.
Right. Great. So as most of the IT companies, a lot of IT companies are planning to get into working from home mode permanently. They are talking about that. So like, say, for example, TCS is telling that by 2025, probably 75% of their employee will be working from home, like that. Or the IBM is telling that probably their infrastructure budget would be reduced by 50%. They will be reducing the infrastructure. So though it is possible for the IT industries maybe, but what about these manufacturing industries like yours? I mean, what is your plan? I mean, is that what should be the mixture of the working from home or from working from office mode?
See, as of now, manufacturing, whichever manufacturing industry you may talk about, we do not plan to go permanently off, work from home mode, because the technology backup is still not there as of now. Manufacturing operations, because there is a lot of capex involved now, capital expenditure involved in upgrading a total setup and making it such automated that everything and anything can be done from home.
Right.
Manufacturing is a very intensive, labor intensive exercise because of this particular only, that because you have to go there and because one operate those machines, and then if supposing the technology shows that everything can be done from home by one or two people, then the entire labor context in this particular sector will be completely changed.
Right.
It's possible, definitely it is possible that you can automate the entire exercise, everything, raw material coming and going. But then the problem is that, see, manufacturing happens based on some raw material that is coming to that particular place and some finished goods going outside that place.
Right.
Now, if you have to link everything together in one particular setup, then the entire supply chain has to be totally automated. So everything will come automatically, everything will happen in that one particular place and then go out automatically without any manual intervention, any loading, unloading, any other activity. Right. So in software setup, it is immediately possible, because software anyways always was a decentralized kind of an activity, because the client was sitting in some other place and the person was sitting in completely different place. He was making a software and then giving it to that particular person. This is the agreement which between him and the salesperson.
Right. So my last question to you in
Yes.
this part of the discussion is that I have heard one news actually that RPG Group is giving 100% working from home for their salespeople. So how it is logical? I was having some confusion about that. That salespeople will be doing 100% working from home. So what's your opinion regarding the same actually?
See, as such, I'm also handling the sales division. So I would say that, see, sales, what is the basic logic behind having them on field? Basic logic behind having the sales employee go to the field and do that particular activity is that they would be able to better explain in a physical manner in a competitive environment. So one salesperson doesn't go to the distributor. There is always 5 or 6 people go to that. So we feel that maybe if that particular person goes there, he would be able to get his attention, and then accordingly he can sell it better. But now when we are coming face to face to this reality, that COVID-19 reality, that this thing cannot happen, because now the distributor doesn't want that particular person to go, or any person to go to meet him in physical manner. So that
Right.
thing is gone in the background. So now over phone we are doing it. We are now looking at more and more technologies which we can give to him, so that he will be more enabled, more easily able to fill that data at whatever order he wants to feed. So that movement has happened. So it can be done. It's not a problem.
Right. So thank you so much for all the explanations. So we'll be again coming back to you after discussing with some other panelists definitely. So let us welcome Mr. Mojumdar, Dhrubajyoti Mojumdar. So he is with us again. So he has promised that probably he will be a little bit late. So he already joined before time. He promised me to join by 7:30. So he joined by 7:20. So thank you so much, sir, for joining. Sir, I'll be coming back to you. Before that, I'll be going to Mr. Mojumdar, sorry, Mr. Shorkar, Shubhabrata Shorkar. So let me just formally introduce Mr. Shorkar. Mr. Shubhabrata Shorkar is the head of human resources of VGM Consultant. He is around 16 plus years of experience in HR, and he has got experience in different industries like manufacturing, retail, ITES. He has served the companies like Polar Pharma, Anmol Industries, Future Group, to name a few. So presently he is with VGM Consultant, which is an ITES company. So as we are discussing with Mr. Banerjee from a manufacturing industry point of view, specifically as far as this employee engagement is concerned. So I would like to ask you, how in the ITES sector is handling this the kind of employee engagement, because every day in the social media I am finding that you are involved in so many different kind of engagement activities with your employees. That is really very appreciable. So it would be great if you can share with our students and the other audience. So what are the practices you are having actually in employee engagement?
Hi, good evening. See, actually, in our kind of industry, work from home is generally not possible. And to some extent, we do, when there was an absolute COVID situation, there was a pandemic and people could not travel, we allowed people to work from home. Because we are a call center, basically. We are into recovery and collection process. We work in pan-India with 18, 19 states. And basically, recovery and collection is our main business. So we require presence of people in the office, because everything cannot be offline. We are, what rightly Uddalak said, that the setup is not that upgraded right now, so that we can do it everything from work from home. So we are into this engagement process. We first believe that engaging people means employees should be satisfied. If an employee is satisfied, then only employees can be engaged. So if employee is satisfied, to make an employee satisfied, we like to involve people in the process. If people are involved, if people are engaged, then only people will be satisfied and will help us. So what we basically do in this COVID is giving a lot of communication process with the employee. Employee should be properly communicated, and the fear factor should be removed out. Because in a lot of companies, we find people are getting retrenched, people are asking to go, and there is always a fear that I may lose my job. There may be a cost cut. So the next day I come to office, I may get that my job is gone. So first of all, if we want to have a good set of employees and keep them engaged, I need to communicate to people that there is nothing to fear. The company is there. Be happy and be safe. Because like we feel that our employees are like family members, like parivar we call. So we have to take care of the employees, their safety, leave rules, attendance process. There should be certain flexibility where employees should be comfortable that yes, the company is caring for me. If I'm in time of need, that I should be listened. A lot of employees, the callers come and they say that in my locality there is COVID. So what will I do? How will I come to office? So we cannot just bluntly say that no, if you don't come to office, your job is gone. The security part should be taken care of. We need to counsel him that yes, these are the safety measures, these are the things you take care of, then only you will be safe. Certain relaxations to be given to the employees that yes, for certain situations you can work from home, and motivate them to inspire other people also to work from to work and to enjoy the work. So I think that first and foremost, if we take care of the employees and build a proper communication channel, then only we can be get a good engagement from employees.
Right. So you are mainly stressing on the communication part, that is clear,
Yes,
transparent communication about the policy, taking
communication
care of
part.
the employees concerned actually.
Right,
So that
right.
is most important.
We are also doing some reward and recognition to people who are in this particular process, who are actually contributing themselves. We have initially in the period when there was a tough COVID situation, we have given special allowances to people to commute to office. A special conveyance allowance were given, and it's a very handy amount were given, so that people get inspired also. They can feel, yes, I'm spending a lot of money during the communication, the transport fare has gone up, I'm having difficulties, so the company is giving me support to manage this kind of cost. Because I think at the end of the day, cost always counts. I'm
Right.
forcing my employee to come to the office, they're spending a lot of money out of it, and they're earning this. So I should make them happy. What I rightly said, if I can keep the employees happy, they will be engaged. And if the employees are engaged and they feel their decisions are taken care of, we have a very good practice of taking people from the employee reference. So there are a lot of places where employees give reference. There are two things. One, definitely as a process owner, you feel that cost factor is taken care of. But more to that, I get the right people, because if people are in the system, they know what kind of fitment is there in the industry. So they give me the right people. So employees also feel that I am contributing to the organization, my decisions, my involvement, and I am a part and parcel of the organization. The more they feel, the more they're engaged. See, in earlier times, what he said, a lot of parties, a lot of engagement parties, fun activities, event management, these things were done. But now, this due to this COVID, these things are not actually possible. Birthday celebration, mass level, monthly birthday celebration, where entire population, entire strength is there. We do a mass cake cutting. So we have cut short these things into project wise and portfolios wise. But virtually, we are doing a lot of cultural activities. What you said, that selfie contest we have not done, but we have started with a cultural activity event where few peoples who are talented culturally, they participate in games, and they sings music, dance. So that's a sort of entertainment to them. That's a monthly activity we have done.
Right. So, Mr. Shortcut, actually, as you have served, retail industry for a long period of time, like the brands like the Future Group, though now it is under Reliance. If you can, share some of the experience of those employee engagement activities from the retail industry, so that our students
Yes.
can also get that clear also, that how the retail industry conduct the employee engagement
The
activities.
retail industry again is a very fast sector where people are passing from higher secondary, and they're very young people who come to retail, and it's a very stressful job, standing 8 to 9 hours in a shop floor in a store and serving, and not only talking and meeting sales targets, they need to fight with a lot of odds, because every time products are not available, but they have to meet with the odds and serve with the products, kind of products and the brands they're having. They get pressure from their team leaders, managers, that meet the target. And in a very small place, if they don't meet the target, they get screwed. So every time I need to keep the people, the team members happy. So there we used to do a lot of spot prizes. Employee of the month has been done, best grooming day, because I need to keep a balance between operations and the recognition part. I need to keep intact my grooming. I cannot screw every time my employee. How to do that? No, we have started a process. A day in the day, the best groomed employee will get a chocolate and a smiley card. So it
Okay.
inspires. The highest cashiering, the billing value, who has done the top billing today, I'll give a spot chocolate to him. Who has done an extensive, very nice customer service, a gesture, the seva part. But in Future Group, we used to call that customer is atithi. So you have to treat people like a god, like a guest. So the kind of counseling part, it's not that people coming to my store and giving the products, he's asking for, taking money and saying them, okay, buy, come again. It's not that. The culture should be, you should be a counselor. You should talk to the customer. You should find the kind of products the customer is looking for. Also guide them what actually fits him or his culture. Talk about more about your family, build a relationship with the customer, and try to know what actually the need is. Suppose Shubhabroto likes to have a brand of biscuit. So my friend takes B brand of biscuit. So I go to the store and say, give me a B brand biscuit. My salesperson should actually talk to the customer and find what is the right fitment, why he's actually asking for B brand, what is the difference. So guide him the proper thing. So who does good customer service? We used to reward them. We used to conduct inter-store cricket tournament, inter-store music tournament. We have organized a event called Pratibha. Hidden talents are there. A lot of hidden talents are there in the stores, who can sing well, who can art, but those hidden talents are actually kept under the carpet because out of work pressure. So those talents come out. We find a lot of people are so talented. We couldn't imagine there's so much of talent are there. So those talents were taken out in the zonal store wise, inter-store wise, the competitions used to happen. And then they were called to the zonal office for a mega event where entire senior peoples were present, and in front of them the performance happened. And again, the best performance of the 1 to 3 stores were taken to the head office in Mumbai, where from all the regions the players used to participate and they used to get good recognition.
Great, fine. So we'll be, again, Mr. Sarkar, I'll be coming back to you. So now I'd like to formally introduce Mr. Mojumdar. So Mr. Dhrubajyoti Mojumdar, who is the regional head HR East of L&T Construction. So he is having more than 20 years of experience in different industries. So he has served the companies like Khoitan Electricals, Kenstar, DTDC Cargo, Red Ceramics, and presently with for the last 1 decade, I guess, more than 10 years, I guess, in L&T Construction. So, sir, as you are, the most experienced HR professional in today's panel, so it will be great if you can share some of your thoughts and experiences in the employee engagement is concerned, how you are doing the employee engagement in your company, or some of the best practices.
Yeah, good evening to you all, and thanks for the this opportunity to address all the students and to my fellow HRs, particularly Uddalok is there, he's a good friend. So, in order to say 2-3 things, I would like to highlight. This pandemic has come up in a so drastic way that without our twinkling of an eye, it spreaded the whole world and hampered all the business activities for the last 6 months in all the field, all the business, irrespective of size, employee strength, profit, everything has gone for a toss. So now, quickly to recover, it's a big challenge for us, particularly employee part, because we have 2 years thought of that it may be for 3 to 4 months affair, but now the progress of this vaccine and its marketability and all, there will be some times it will take more than that we have expected or predicted. Now the concern of the employee engagement is various. It's a very tough situation under which the employee has to work, particularly the organization like us, where the construction activities are severely hampered due to various reasons. One thing is our projects are scattered all over the India, and from the cosmopolitan city to a very lesser renowned or a village. You will never, you will hardly get any medical facilities and all. Nothing is available. So there to motivate the people is a very big challenge. So number one thing is that those who have stuck up in the site or the project locations, they are highly disturbed and demotivated, demoralized due to the reason that what is going on in their native place. And the vice versa, the people, those who are somehow able to reach to their native, they are having problem that whatever this, how the things are moving in the site, whether their job is still alive or not, or job has also gone like the pandemic. So this is a big problem to address. So I remember that in earlier phase of the phase one, myself and my entire HR team, we are every day we are calling some 50, 60 odd people just to ask them their health and well-being, whether they are having some proper foods, having enough medicines or not, because we are having several hospital projects across the geography, and particularly in the east, it is scattered like anything. We are having projects in Borpeta, we are project having Darang, Silchar, and here the North Bihar, where the nothing is available. So big challenge for all together for the our HR team as well to cater this. 2-3 things we have did in during this phase of time. Training has been totally we have did it through Microsoft Teams, and on regular basis in order to demotivate, in order to motivate the people and lessening their this tendency of over worrying about the pandemic situation and the financial stress, their health problem and all this, we are having some sort of stress management program on a regular interval for all the sites. That is one part we have did. Secondly, we have on regular basis, we are communicating with the people, because communication is very essential, particularly this type of pandemic, because without the proper and continuous communication with the people, they will feel a sort of disconnect.
Yes.
And that in turn ramified into lower engagement or disengagement.
Right.
So that is continuous communication we did. Lot of LMS platform, we are having a LMS platform called ATL, Anytime Learning. Lot of programs we have launched and continuously encourage the people to at least hone their skills and competencies through during this lockdown period, and make themselves ready for the site. So this is another thing. Fourth part, as Uddal pointed out, and Mr. Sarkar has also pointed out, relaxation in the attendance in the cluster office, because COVID is continuously increasing, and every day we are getting somehow or some other news. Some of the people are getting infected by the COVID every day. So breaking the chain is a very big challenge. At the same time, staff engagement. Now, when the unlocking part is going on, we are also having another challenge, that is profitability of the organization have adversely suffered due to this prolonged pandemic and closure on several states. Secondly, the migrant workers. Migrant workers, we have lost a good number of migrant workers. Those who have returned back to their native have never come back. So labor mobilization is another big challenge. So since this is a seasonal type of work, all the construction activities are seasonal in nature. We are not a process industry wherein there is a factory premises, or we are having some sort of machineries and equipments and the trained staff like that. So here this lot of work and lot of impact we are having due to this shortage of labor. So automatically when the profit is dropping, overhead is huge. So organization as somehow or other is going for cost cutting measures and some of the downsizing activities. Now downsizing activities will again have a multiplier effect on the staff. They are already somehow they have recovered from the financial stress. They are again under financial stress now. All of them are having all sorts of bad dreams. Those who are very performing very well, they are also thinking that maybe organization will ask me to leave. So that is one of the biggest part wherein we are continuously trying to thrust upon various employee engagement. And this year also we have done the online GET induction for 1000 GET entirely in a virtual mode, which is
Right.
itself a big challenge. And
So
the
that
entire
means those
thing
who are
is-
hired from campus, for them you are talking about.
Yes, 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 yes. They have not, yeah, they have not allowed to go to Chennai. We have, and even if Mr. S.N. Subramaniam, who is the chairman, he is also through virtual mode only addressed in the entire gathering. So they are all being connected through Microsoft Teams, and the entire thing has been in virtual mode. And job rotation also, we are doing job rotation training, everything we are on the virtual, because nowadays after this pandemic, the training cost we want to reduce it in a drastic way. And I think every organization is trying or making their best effort to minimize the training cost and other HR overheads, so that HR people should also feel that they are also contributing to the business. So that is one of the part. Apart from that, in order to maintain the employee hygiene factors and motivational part also, a lot of relaxation and leniency we are trying to give off the track, particularly field of attendance, in the field of leave, those who are having those who are moving to the sites and being quarantined for the as per the institutional advisory, they are being tried to, we are offering them the very good stay, something like that, like make the people as far as possible to be at ease. We definitely know that it is a temporary remedy, because financial stress, psychological stress, stress for the near ones and dear ones, health issues, so on and so forth, it will be there as more or less as it is. But in order to give them some respite from the side of the organization, it is always I think that is our duty or our responsibility to take care of the staff. And that we have on several occasions, we have reiterated this matter to all the concerned, that staff is one of the biggest asset of our organization. So some of the remedies we have tried to give. Now time will test that how much actually we have given and what actually the reality is. So that I can say from my end.
Great, sir. So you are mainly talking about that managing the stress of the employees is one of the major concern, and the regular communications
Yes.
with the employees, asking for
Yes,
their
yes,
present
yes.
condition is also an issue. But the challenges that is being posed is that downsizing, and the present economic conditions also is also a challenge for maintaining the engagement. So, sir, I'll be coming back to you. So, I'll again coming back to Mr. Banerjee. So, as Mr. Mojumdar is talking about the downsizing and etc., this kind of challenges. So, as we know that there are many employees who are also getting affected by this COVID-19 and etc. So, how you are taking care of them? I mean, are you going for any insurance policies for them, or the prevalent earlier Mediclaim policies that is working for that, or any other initiative you are taking for the employees?
So as of now, we have actually not just gone ahead to how we have structured the cost. I will tell you on the insurance front. So what we have done is that we have first we have as of now for this year, we have not given any promotion to anybody. Okay.
Yeah.
So what we have saved from there, we have channelized the entire bulk of money into the insurance at one side for each and every employee who is working either in our own payroll or off-roll.
Okay.
And we have also gone ahead to ensure that distributors and all other people in the field who support us.
Okay, that's wonderful. Okay.
So we have channelized this entirely as an opportunity, and just like Dhruva sir has already said that we have actually we have also not even reduced the training cost. In fact, we have doubled it. And we have, because the money whichever we had saved by the promotions and all that, so we have that part whichever was there, we have also further increased in the training amount, because we felt that this period people will be there in their home should be entirely utilized by that particular person to upscale. Because once the market comes open, we should be in a position to in a commanding position.
Okay, great, great. So that is a wonderful thing. That is, you are covering all the employees. I mean, the off-role employees you are also covering to the insurance
Yes.
actually.
Yes.
Okay, even the distributor support people.
Yes.
Okay, okay, that is wonderful gesture from the company, because those are the people in the unorganized sector. They will be facing the major challenges actually.
Yes.
So if you are covering those employees and those support staff, so that is a wonderful gesture from the company like the Pidilite Industries. So that is a wonderful cases of discussion during our academic classes. So thank you for sharing that information. As Mr. Mojumdar as well as Mr. Shorkas was talking about regarding the flexibility in the leave structure and the attendance policies because of this situation. So do you have this kind of facilities as well?
Yes, actually, if leave structure, see, the leave structure prior to pandemic was something that was there. But during this period of work from home, we have done up internal agreement also so that everybody gets I mean, there was some noise. So internally also there we have made a restructuring, and we have got the agreement also from the employee side. That is on the ground, so that we have not asked any to leave Pidilite, be it off roll or on roll, during this entire, and we don't plan to do it at least up till January or February also, and because we believe that we are doing decent business at this point also. Don't believe that.
Great, great. Okay, fine. So I'm coming back to Mr. Shorkar actually. So as we had a understanding about your ITES industry. So as we are having a discussion related to the retail industry as well. So as if you can just put an lie, as you are used to be with the retail industry, as there is a takeover by the Reliance Group. I mean with the Future Group. So is there any stress factor that may affect the employees related to the employee engagement is concerned specifically, because there is a COVID-19 that is going on. This is a stress. And again, some new company has taken over the brand. I mean, so is there any, as you have handled a lot of employees from the retail sector, so does that affect the employees' psyche somehow?
See, though, right, it will not be absolutely correct for me to comment here, because I am not part of this organization now. But if you, let's not take the brand. If we talk
In general, yeah.
in general, if I take brand A and brand B, considering the big brand, because say brand A was so big, it was a king in the industry. So it's definitely whoever is taking over, immediate effect should not come, because definitely stress factor will be with everyone will think that what will happen next. But if we talk about the trend that happened, because previously also that brand has sold off one of his prominent retail sector to another brand. Right. Their experience that change has not actually happened, because there is an understanding between definitely both the big shots that you will take my employees and will take care of about employees. Right. But you cannot ignore absolutely the stress part, because yes, there's the big question mark always. The brand is sold out. What will happen? The new management, how will they treat the employees? Right. But see, that brand who is taking this brand, they are also a very pioneer in the industry. So definitely they have also done good engagement activities. I don't think that there will be a much effect in the engagement, employee engagement part. Maybe there may be that change in a track, there may be the change in a tune, or the basket A to basket B, but the purpose and the motive should not change.
Right. Good. Thank you for the explanation, sir. So I'm coming back to Mr. Mojumdar. Before we going to the question answer session from the students, so my questions to you would be in the manufacturing sector, as Mr. Banerjee was also talking about, that it is way ahead before we'll be thinking for the working from home, permanent working from home facilities for the manufacturing sector. So what is your take on that actually? So if we are again specifically taking that example of the RPG group, who are telling that the overall sales team will be working from home. So is that a possibility for your industry or any in a manufacturing company?
No, like the manufacturing organization, we are also having a setup which is not a it is the like the manufacturing process. We are also having a construction process. So in the construction process, wherein the hands-on your exposure or hands-on work needs to be required. Otherwise, you cannot deliver the project. But one of the things, one or two, three things that come up fantastically during this prolonged lockdown. One thing is that we have successfully experimented the work from home, and it is quite successful, and we have done quite good, despite the fact we don't have any work from home policy. Policy wise, we don't have any work from home, so it is still unstructured. It is totally unstructured. So we are in front of the laptop, and the mobile phone will ring, and it will ring up to 9 or 10 o'clock. Pre-pandemic era, it was generally stopped by 7 o'clock. But now it is ringing 10:30. So that is one of the new normal thing change I have observed. Number one. And number two, I have seen that people are now more and more digital savvy, which is good, because if you see that in the generation in the generation X and so, earlier days, this Microsoft Teams, Zoom, WebEx, all these things it sound like a Hebrew. But now we are now really encouraging, and people have taken it in a very positive way. Thirdly, in respect of this insurance, I also it has stuck up my mind. We also did that insurance. We have also hiked the insurance from a certain level to certain quite a good hike, but partially that cost has been borne by the employee as well. That is we have did.
Right. Fine.
Fourthly, the salary part we have not touched anything. The salary is getting credited to the account of the employee as usual. Though there are some hiccups in respect of some future impact on incentive, bonus, and etc. That as of now, it is not very clear to us. Maybe in going forward, we will be having some clear-cut policies. Now, in respect of this work from home in construction industry, work from home in the construction industry is not a successful one, because you have some of the core functions are there which needs human intervention, whereas some of the support job that can be done by remaining in the work from home, or working in your bachelor's accommodation or family accommodation, wherein you can sit and work. But one thing we have did, those who are having 50 years plus of age and having some sort of ailments, we are encouraging them not to come to the workplace. Okay. Because it's a little bit health hazard for them. And most of them, we are asking them to be on the home and work from home or operate from home. These are some of the things which we did. At the same time, in order to encourage the people should come, and at the initial stages of the pandemic lockdown, we have supported the migrant workers also to move to their native, and arrangement has been made, the transportation facilities have been made. So these are some of the initiatives we have taken care. But work from home in the core construction industry like the Uddalok, I am also in the same opinion. It is not possible, because like the manufacturing process, we are also having the construction process. So there are some process wherein some people has to deliver some of the jobs. That is not possible by staying at home. It's very simple.
Right. Fine. Thank you so much for the explanation, sir. And from the students' point of view, they are having one question in mind. Whatever maybe the topic is of the discussion, at the end of the day, they will be asking one question: that what would be my future after 1 year or 2 years? The people are going to hire, or what would be the recruitment market? So as I know, whenever I'll be asking these students to ask questions, they will be asking this question. So one by one, I just want you to, if you can give a answer to this question, that what would be their. Some of them will be graduating within 1 year in 2021, and some of them or most of them will be graduating in 2022. So keeping that timeline in mind, so sir, if you can tell, what is the future of job market in India specifically? So Mr. Mujumdar sir, if you can tell, then we'll be going to Mr.
Job market as of now, what I have seen, particularly in our sector and to our competitor sector, we have seen that there is not a very encouraging picture is there. So a lot of job cuts are there, a lot of areas where we have seen that there are reduction of the compensation package or reduction of the people, or even if some of the organization has also gone for furlough, wherein the people has been asked for the leave for a certain period of time with pay or without pay. So there are some of the these type of things are going on. But going forward, obviously, we have to be the optimistic one, and if we think in a negative way, the thing will not come up, because it's a really good gesture from our organization per se. If you ask me, that due to this pandemic also, we have not dishonored any of the offer letter. We have not dishonored any of our campus processes that was done in the month of February. So all the onboarding has been made, all the onboarding has been done in the due time. All of them has been onboarded and on the due time. So I have not from my organization side, for the level of trainees, I should not say that it will be a big problem, but only thing, the present scenario has to be overcome by the company, and business, as soon as the business will come, definitely the future years will be as flourishing as we are before the pandemic.
Right. So that's a wonderful gesture. Actually, I was just about to ask you that question. So you have already answered that. You have honored all the offer letter you have given to all the campuses. So you have onboarded all the trainees actually. So what I personally believe, that the students should start preparing themselves for because as the number of vacancies would be less, so the competition would be higher. So they should start preparing themselves for that particular opportunities that will be coming, so that they can crack those opportunities. So that is important. That is important. So I would like to ask the same question to Mr. Banerjee. What is your point of view regarding the job market for this 2021 and 2022 graduates?
So actually, before answering this, I would also like to say that whatever offers we had made for all management trainees and graduate trainees, whichever had to come, so around roughly, it was not 1,000 for us, it was around 200 or so. Okay, so all of them have got onboarded and they are working. So from their homes, that's a different thing, but they are working for us anymore. So that's not that we have dishonored any offer. So the next part is that, yes, what will happen? Now, first thing is what I understand always and have always understood, that it is directly proportional with the GDP. Okay, now if the activity returns, it will immediately go up, and GDP cannot be permanently down. So if next 6 months or 7 months, you can say that if once immediately, in fact, after the vaccine comes or anything positive happens in that direction, immediately the market will try its best to come back to the old state. Once that happens, immediately jacking up of all the hiring pattern will happen, and immediately there will be a huge number of vacancies that will be created at a very single point of time. Because every other activity which they have now, because how things are going right now is that people are thinking that only if it is extremely essential, we go ahead. If it is not extremely essential, we park it for future. Now, once this market, this added problems go out of the equation, the people will then look at maximizing the returns. So they immediately go into a hiring mode and then start to fill up all the vacancies and immediately go all out into the market to regain the advantage, the fast movers advantage. Right. So that hiring will start. So I mean, it will happen within next 6 months or 8 months or 1 year. That is very difficult to say at this point, but it will definitely go up again.
Great, fine. Mr. Shorkar, if you can just put
Yeah.
a light on it actually.
I'll put it into three parts. Number one is, if you talk about the trend, what the general industry people and our HR forum people are feeling, that before 2021 end, things are not going to get normalized. Maybe end of December. But the good thing is that, let's talk about the positive part. In our kind of industry, we are doing recruitment, and thank God for it, business is really picking up. And for this collection and recovery process, we are doing mass recruitment process is on and in full flow. We are having a marathon session of recruitment, maybe for the junior levels. Yes, we are also recruiting for operations and other levels also. That's really a very good part, good sign. Talking about visiting campus, you've not yet decided about this year's campus, but whatever old commitments were there, visiting campus and the release of offer letters, what has been done for all levels, that is on. So we have not done any cut in that. And yes, for future, keeping the fingers crossed, with business growing so high, we hope to give employment and more chances to people, the budding people who are just passing out and aspiring to work with good organization. So that's very nice of us, I think.
Thank you so much for all of your candid answers. So now it is open to the students. So if you have any questions, so all the panelists are there. So if you can ask whatever the queries you are having related to our today's topic specifically, or definitely you can ask some question related to your career aspirations also.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. My name
Good
is
evening.
Ananya Vishwas, and my question is, what are the skills do you think is a must for us to have that will help us in the future?
So whom you want to ask the question? Any specific or to all, anybody?
No, no, sir. To all.
Okay. So anyone who wants to give the answer, that's good.
The skill, I think the first thing you should have as a student when you are passing out is confidence level. You need to be very confident, and you should not talk what you don't know, but what you should talk, you should have full confidence in that. Because in the interview room, you should not make a kind of scene that you are speaking which you don't know. The interviewer always think the interviewer is also smart. So be very clear what you know, and explain them that what is your expectation and why you want to join that organization, and what is your career plan. So if you're very clear in your thoughts, I think in your level, we don't expect much more. Your confidence, your communication, and your willingness to work. Because when I visited most of the campuses in this session, I find that generally the freshers, they look for a big designation when they pass out of the institutes. And they think that I'll work in an organization, I'll sit in a cabin, I'll manage so many of people, and I'll have a very fat salary, and that will be satisfaction for me. But always think that there's a lot of competition, and the road to golden handle is narrow. So the path is wide, and the more you move ahead, it's narrow. So you have to filter yourself and adapt yourself with the culture and the situations, and make out the best from organization.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Banerjee, if you want to add something.
Okay, so I would say that, see, first thing is always remember that when the situation will come back to normal, you would require some 2 or 3 things which will be very helpful for you. One is you have to make up a decision making ability. Okay, so that will only happen when you have more or less understanding of the whole business and have some innovative answers which can suit the business. Because the moment this thing will go off, the recruiters definitely will try to figure out that whether that particular future employee, has that ability to adapt the change as well as make innovative solutions, make the work done without compromising on the company's immediate goals. So that thing will only happen when you have a little bit of a holistic understanding, and also your ability to differentiate and make some certain positive decisions leading to some innovation to deliver results. That is important. That's all.
All right, sir.
Mr. Mojumdar, if you have some suggestion.
Yeah, I would like to tell you, Anand, that mental resilience will be one of the big game changer for the future generation in any circumstances. And in future,
Yes.
when you are undergoing the interview or campus placements, lot of resilience you need to show, or you have to demonstrate that resilience in your work field, because it may be that you may not like the job profile in toto. So I would like to request that if the company is good, then you should join, because you will not get everything is
Hmm.
everything a fantastic one. No, not like that. Maybe your sitting arrangement is not good, or maybe your boss is not that good, or your working time is not in your favor. But
Yes, sir.
this will you have to overcome through your resilience. So a lot of resilience will be required. At the same time, a proper knowledge about the your about your state educational part, and the things I have seen that those people, there are those who are little bit over smart, having problem.
Hmm.
So don't try to be over smart.
So
Thanks.
what I feel I like to add here, don't think
Um,
about money when you pass out of the organizations, because generally people pass from B school. The general thinking is, I have spent this amount of money in the course, so I want to get back the money in a very fast way. So see, job is less and you are a fresher. Always think in the next batch. A lot of people are coming, they are standing behind you. So if you ignore this opportunity, the opportunity will take and the seat will be occupied by someone. So there should not be gap. You should keep the ball rolling. So whatever you get, if it's a decent job, if you find that it fits you, you're interested in it, you like the job, take it. Don't think about designation, your cabin. Don't think about salary. Yes, salary is definitely a big motivating factor for us, everyone. But that should not be the prime, at least for your cases. You should grab the job, start, and grow from there.
right.
Yes, understood.
Anyone
Thank you
else
so
have
much,
any
sir.
question? Anyone else?
Thank you so much, sir.
Welcome.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Pallavi Shaw, and my question is for Majumdar, sir. Sir, just now you were explaining to Ananya that we should go with the flow. We should always adapt ourselves to the organization, whether we like it or not, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So my question is, we also talk about job satisfaction. So won't that be a problem if I ignore that part?
I have already told you that you might not you may not like all the part of the job in toto. Suppose if you are in HR, if you are being asked that you have to also do the admin, which is a very common thing in our in Calcutta. We have seen those who are in HR, they have to also look after the cleanliness of the toilet, maybe some higher carpools. But at that point of time, at that point of this juncture, you have to think in totality, though, whether you like the job of an HR. If there are some add-ons are there, try to accommodate. That only I have to say to you. But not a very easy task. It will be tough, and don't change the company frequently for the sake of job satisfaction. Because if you are satisfied with your job, you may not get the salary, and if you are getting salary, you may not be satisfied with the job. That we have seen. Everything is not as per your wish, it will not move. So initial 3 years, please invest in one single company. Try to learn as much as possible. And what I can say that if this learning is a sort of deferred investment, and you will definitely reap the benefit of that learning, maybe after 5 years also. So
True.
3 years, please stick to the company. If your job satisfaction up to 60-65% is met,
Right, sir.
Anyone else have any question?
So my next
Sir.
question is to Shubhubruto sir.
Yeah.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes,
Yeah,
little bit
please.
louder would be
Yes,
great,
yes.
great actually, Pallavi. Little bit louder would be great.
Oh, okay, sir. So, sir, as in human head resources, so what changes have you noticed in employees' behavior when they used to work from office and now that they're working from home? So, what changes have you noticed, and sir, what do you think is more preferable? What do you think will be more preferable in the future?
Preference it it varies person to person. So what I've seen working from home is a bit tough because if you talk about females and especially those who are who are family members, they find the family when you aren't at home, the family members expects your presence. You expect your son to be with you, you expect the wife or the husband to be with you, your mother expects you to be with you, because they see that my family member is with me in the home with me. But the organization expectation is that you work from office, you expect and roll out your duties. So it's very tough for a person who is working from home to maintain a proper balance, because he has to manage the home, he has to meet his son's expectation, he has to meet his wife's expectation, his mother's expectations, your household works, and the work. Nothing can be ignored. But compared to that, I feel if you are working from office, you are detached from the house, you have done your responsibilities, you come out of your house and you are in the office and you are entirely engaged in the office. So that way work from home is a bit of people. When I have experience, I generally talk with people that how are you enjoying the work, what kind of difficulties you are facing. There is also connectivity problem. It's not that everyone is sitting in the or placed in big metros where the mobile connection or the net connection is good.
Right, sir.
So you are doing calling, the boss is asking why you are not able to crack the deal, you are saying I have low connectivity, I'm having problem. Everyone doesn't have a very big house or apartment. You think about people, especially in our country where people stay in one room. That room is your kitchen, that room is your living room, that area is your dining room. So you are taking your calls from that. So how difficult, think in those situations, you are managing your office, you are maintaining, you are hearing a lot of chaos, a lot of noise, you are expecting your family to talk to you, and then you are managing your work. It's very difficult. It's my
Right,
personal feeling, I feel. Rather sitting in an office and doing your shouldering your responsibilities is easy.
right, sir.
It's work from home and work for home. Sometimes it's a big problem.
Very right, sir.
Uh, I mean, any other question? Priya, you have a question?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. So my question is from Mr. Sharkar. Sir, I also want to pursue HR.
Hmm.
So if I want to become a HR in future, so what qualities do I need to have, or what things do I have to practice apart from the education only?
See, if you want to become a good HR, you have to have a very thick skin. HR is always called a dustbin job. So you do a lot of good work, but you get less recognition. So be ready to accept that. You have to be for the people. You have to be a balance between the employer and the employee. That's a very, very tough thing that everyone cannot do. Means your boss will say that your team is, this team is not performing, chuck him off. But you as an employee, if you have the confidence of the employee that you can prove that non-performer to a performer, that's your big deal. That's the gain you can have. So one thing, listening skill, you have to be a very good listener. You have to have a very good grip over Excel. What I shared, we are a data manager, we manage a lot of data. So you have to have very good knowledge in Excel, rather computers and systems. So system knowledge and memory. A good HR remembers name, lot of things you have to remember. You have to remember the employee's birthday. You have to remember who's, there's a newborn in the family of one. You want to go and congratulate him. You want to remember a lot of appointments. You have to remember whatever things you have to do. So your brain data thing should be very enriched and very sound. And you have the first and the main thing, that is you have to be a very good communicator. Your communication should be very clear. You should not hide things. What are to be communicated properly.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you for the answer.
Welcome.
We can take one more question. So if you anyone you want to have any question, so you can ask. Momita, Ashmita, Sharmishta, anyone, if you have any question, you can ask.
See, you should come out of your shell. Don't feel shy. Always, there is no end to learning. So if you feel
Hello,
that,
sir.
yeah.
Yes, Amlan.
Sir, I'm Amlan from Howrah. Sir, my question is after the COVID-19 period, when the COVID-19 period over, can anyone think that there will be a boom on the e-commerce side or the deduction of any sales?
So your question is that after COVID-19 or during COVID-19, that is a e-commerce would be booming and hiring opportunities would be there. That is your question, right?
No, sir. After the COVID-19 period over, when the COVID-19 period is over, if there is any chance of booming the e-commerce side or the deduction of sales of their side, sir.
মানে তুমি যেটা বলতে চাইছো সেটা হচ্ছে যে এখন ই-কমার্সের বুম চলছে, কিন্তু কোভিড-19 চলে গেলে কি ই-কমার্সের বুম কমে যাবে, এটা জিজ্ঞেস করতে চাইছো?
হ্যাঁ, কমে যাবে নাকি বেড়ে যাবে, মানে এর কি কোনো পসিবিলিটি কি আছে?
Okay.
E-commerce already has established its credibility in Indian market. So going COVID, it will last for another 2 to 3 years. I don't feel that there should be any dearth of job employment, particularly per se, in the e-commerce field, because it has already placed its footprint very firmly into the business and in the Indian market. Even if we see that rather than the big retail chains, they are suffering like anything. The loss of employment is huge. Future Group has totally, it has finished almost. So yourself can see that what are the good job opportunity and where. E-commerce is the factor. Now everything is now digitalized.
Yes.
Even if the organizations are also buying the laptops from the e-commerce, our organization is buying the laptops from the e-commerce companies with the block deal like that. This is the accepted fact.
Right, probably, Amlan, you got your answer that definitely the e-commerce is booming and probably it will continue to boom in future as well. So again, so I would like to thank to all the panelists for being here in the evening today and discuss so many things apart from our topic also, like this employee engagement was our main topic, but however you have discussed so many other areas, so probably that has enriched our students definitely. So I would like to personally thank Mr. Majumdar who has given you have for giving your time in the evening, and a lot of time you have interacted with our students, so that is so wonderful, and you have really helped our students, this batch and earlier batches also, to enrich themselves with your knowledge and experiences. So thank you so much for that. Mr. Banerjee, this is the first time probably you are having a session with us, but that is so enriching for all of us. You have shared a lot of your experiences, so definitely we would like to have some more sessions with you in future as well, because I have seen your profile that you are having so many other activities also, so we have not got time to explore that. So probably in future in some other session we can have we can explore those your potentials and credentials actually. So thank you so much. And Mr. Shorkars, definitely, again, thank you that for our event today, you are, extended your office hours today. I mean, you are supposed to leave by 6, but for our session
Exactly.
only, you have stayed back. That is wonderful gesture. Thank you so much for that.
It is
And
always
we are
nice
also,
to interact with students. So I always enjoy talking to students. There's a lot of learning from the students also. And
right. So,
they are the budding managers. So we should always make them part. As HR also, we feel that I should develop some managers, someone down level. So that's one of the key role of HR training.
so thank you so much for that. So thank you so much all the students also, for joining this program. So we hopefully that it is a enriching session for all of you, getting so much, exposure in that particular topic of our discussion, that is employee engagement from different aspect. We have discussed from the ITES to retail to, manufacturing industry, construction industry. So all the different industry aspects we have came to know, and their best practices. So thank you so much to all the panelists and all the students for
Thanks to
participating.
Amitabh also for giving us a platform also to interact with Mr. Majumdar and Uddalok also. A lot of learning from them also.
Yeah,
It's vice
thank
versa,
you,
actually.
Amitabh. Thank you, Amitabh. Actually, I have seen Uddalok, then at once I agreed that at least we can meet in the virtual platform itself.
We keep meeting on and off, but yes, thanks.
Right.
Yes.
So thank you so much,
Okay.
all of you. We'll be definitely meeting soon in some other platform, definitely, for discussing some other events and activities. So thank you so much. Thank you so much,
Thank
all
you.
of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Everyone.
Thanks,
Thank you, sir.
everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.